The crisp mountain air of the Great Smoky Mountains National Park hummed with the joyful sounds of a Father's Day weekend gathering. For 6-year-old Dennis Martin, it was a playground of endless wonder. His spirit, a vibrant mix of adventurous curiosity, propelled him forward, always seeking the next hidden marvel nature had to offer. His father, William Martin, watched over him with a protective yet understanding gaze, accustomed to his son's boundless energy. Around them, a lively group of friends and family, including Dennis's grandfather and brother, reveled in the lush, untamed beauty of the wilderness. Towering trees formed a cathedral of green, sunlight dappling through the canopy, illuminating the winding trails that promised adventure. It was a picture of idyllic family bliss, a momentary respite from the mundane, set against the backdrop of a landscape as breathtaking as it was formidable. As the afternoon wore on, the family embarked on a hike, the laughter and chatter echoing through the forest. Dennis, his brother, father, and grandfather moved along a well-trodden path. It was then that the idea for the scaring game took root, a childish impulse that would forever alter the course of their lives. Dennis and his brother, with the innocent mischief only young boys possess, decided to run ahead, eager to find a perfect hiding spot from which to jump out and surprise the adults. Dennis, last seen in a bright red t-shirt and blue shorts, vanished into the dense undergrowth, his small figure swallowed by the vibrant foliage. Moments stretched into an unsettling silence. The initial casual calls for Dennis soon morphed into anxious shouts. William Martin's heart began to pound with a sickening rhythm, a primal fear seizing him. Dennis didn't reappear. The scaring game had gone terribly wrong. A frantic search began, the family retracing their steps, their voices now tinged with rising despair, echoing the boy's name through the darkening woods. As the sun began its slow descent, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, the temperature plummeted, adding another layer of terror to the unfolding nightmare. First responders arrived as twilight deepened. Park rangers, their faces grim, and local law enforcement. The sheer overwhelming scale of the Great Smoky Mountains National Park quickly became apparent. What had seemed like a picturesque backdrop now loomed as an immense, unforgiving labyrinth. The initial theory, a desperate whisper of hope, was that Dennis had simply gotten lost, perhaps taken a wrong turn or even suffered a minor fall. Early search efforts were met with immediate, soul-crushing frustration. Volunteers pouring in from the community rallied with an inspiring, yet ultimately futile, determination. The dense foliage, rugged terrain, and rapidly diminishing visibility as night fully descended conspired against them. False leads abounded, each one a cruel tease, a fleeting glimpse of another child, a discarded piece of clothing that wasn't Dennis's. William Martin's guilt gnawed at him, a relentless torment as the hours bled into darkness. The first night was a cold, terrifying ordeal, the family huddled together, united by a profound agony, with no sign of the boy. As dawn broke on the second day, casting long shadows across the ancient mountains, the search intensified, but a new, more sinister possibility began to emerge, casting a dark shadow over the natural beauty of the mountains. Before we continue, subscribe to the channel and tell us in the comments where you are watching from. The second day brought with it an overwhelming surge of organized effort, yet the sinister possibility that had begun to surface only deepened. The search for Dennis Martin expanded dramatically, transforming from a local effort into a large-scale military operation. Green Berets, renowned for their specialized skills in challenging environments, descended upon the park, their precision and expertise a stark contrast to the previous day's frantic, less coordinated attempts. They were joined by units of the National Guard, bringing with them sophisticated equipment designed for rugged terrain and extensive land searches. The sheer manpower and technological resources were impressive, but the mountain remained stubbornly unyielding. As the days turned into a week, and then weeks, the unusual circumstances surrounding Dennis's disappearance drew the attention of federal authorities. The FBI became involved, their presence a somber acknowledgement that this was no longer a simple lost child case. Their agents meticulously combed through every detail, every witness statement, searching for any anomaly. Search dogs, highly trained and eager, were deployed, following the scent theory with unwavering focus. However, the diverse and challenging terrain of the Great Smoky Mountains, with its countless streams, dense undergrowth, and ever-present wildlife, created a confusing tapestry of smells, making their task incredibly difficult. Conflicting scents, old animal trails, and the lingering odors of hundreds of searchers confounded even the most experienced K-9 units. Initial fears had included the bear theory, the terrifying thought that Dennis might have encountered one of the park's formidable black bears. Park rangers and wildlife experts conducted careful assessments, but no evidence of an animal attack, no torn clothing, no definitive tracks ever materialized. This absence of evidence, rather than providing reassurance, only fueled a more unsettling hypothesis: the abduction theory. As hopes of finding Dennis simply lost grew dimmer with each passing day, the specter of human interference began to loom large, a chilling thought that permeated every corner of the search effort. For the Martin family, the ordeal was an agonizing descent into a living nightmare. William Martin, once a picture of joyful fatherhood, transformed into a figure of grim determination, his face etched with a profound weariness. His guilt, a heavy, suffocating blanket, propelled him forward, driving him to participate in every possible aspect of the search, to speak to every authority figure, to cling to every shred of hope. The immense pressure and unspoken grief began to strain family dynamics. While outwardly unified, beneath the surface, unspoken accusations and raw emotions simmered, threatening to fracture their already fragile world. The case exploded into public consciousness, becoming a media frenzy. National news outlets broadcast Dennis's innocent face into homes across America, turning his disappearance into a shared tragedy. In their desperation, the family, grasping at any possibility, even consulted psychics. These individuals, with their vague pronouncements and often contradictory visions, only added to the chaotic information surrounding the case, offering fleeting glimpses of hope quickly dashed by reality. Amidst the swirling confusion, a seemingly significant detail emerged: the shoe print clue. Near a remote stream, a print was discovered. It was too large to belong to Dennis, yet notably too small for an adult man. This perplexing detail sparked intense speculation. Was it a teenager? A smaller adult? It hinted at a third party, someone who didn't fit neatly into the profile of a lost child or a typical adult hiker, further deepening the mystery. Adding to the family's anguish and the public's frustration were the controversial decisions made by park management. Critics pointed to initial delays in reporting the incident and what some perceived as restrictions on search areas, hindering early crucial efforts. The missing persons protocol, designed for such emergencies, appeared to falter under the unique and overwhelming circumstances of Dennis's case. Whispers began to circulate among locals, weaving in old legends and rumors about the area, adding a supernatural, almost mythical element to the boy's disappearance. William Martin, despite his personal torment, found a new purpose, a redemption arc in his relentless efforts to keep Dennis's story alive, becoming an impassioned advocate for other missing children. Then, a child's shoe was discovered, far from the primary search area. For a heart-stopping moment, hope surged, only to be cruelly extinguished when it was dismissed as unrelated, fueling more frustration and despair. Just as hope dwindled to a flicker, a cryptic phone call reached the park ranger's office, reporting a strange, unsettling detail, suggesting that Dennis might not have simply walked away. The cryptic phone call reaching the park ranger's office detailed a strange and unsettling account that immediately seized the attention of investigators. A local couple, hiking in a less frequented area on the very day Dennis vanished, claimed to have heard a chilling scream, sharp and piercing, echoing through the dense forest. Moments later, they reported seeing a man, moving with an almost unnatural haste, carrying what appeared to be something wrapped tightly in a blanket. This scream theory galvanized the FBI, prompting a renewed, albeit desperate wave of investigation. Agents descended upon the couple, conducting extensive interviews and subjecting them to polygraph examinations. They meticulously cross-referenced their statements with known timelines and search grids. Yet despite the couple's unwavering conviction, no conclusive evidence emerged to corroborate their story. The blanketed figure remained elusive, a phantom in the annals of an already baffling case. Each new lead that fizzled out, each tantalizing shred of hope that ultimately proved fruitless, became a fresh wound for the Martin family. The betrayal of hope, as they privately referred to it, left them emotionally raw, cycling between fleeting anticipation and crushing despair. Through it all, however, a fragile but profound reconciliation began to take root within the family. The shared agony, the relentless public scrutiny, and the agonizing uncertainty forged an unbreakable bond. They found strength in each other, a silent understanding that transcended words, a collective resilience that allowed them to face each new day, even without answers. William Martin, whose initial guilt had been so consuming, gradually shifted his focus from self-blame to a fierce determination to honor Dennis's memory. Ultimately, the official conclusion, delivered with a heavy heart by the authorities, was that Dennis Martin was presumed deceased, his cause of death unknown. The vast, indifferent wilderness had claimed him, leaving behind only questions and an aching void. The park's response to the tragedy was significant and lasting. The case prompted immediate and comprehensive changes in search and rescue protocols. Public awareness campaigns were launched, emphasizing the inherent dangers of the wilderness even in seemingly benign conditions. The love for Dennis, however, transcended the official pronouncements. His memory was kept alive through annual memorials, small gatherings of family and friends who refused to let his spirit fade. These tributes served as a constant, poignant reminder of a life cut short, a future stolen by the silent mountains. The family's journey through grief was a testament to superation, not just enduring their loss, but channeling their pain into advocacy. William Martin, in particular, became a tireless voice for other missing children, ensuring that the lessons learned, however painful, might prevent similar tragedies. The impact on the community was indelible, the case leaving an indelible mark on the region. A haunting tale told for generations, a cautionary whisper carried on the mountain winds. The lingering questions, however, refused to dissipate. Was it an animal attack, swift and brutal? Was it an abduction, a sinister act carried out under the canopy of ancient trees? Or did he simply succumb to the relentless elements, a small boy lost to the vast indifference of nature? The lack of closure remained the most painful aspect for the family, a perpetually open wound that refused to heal. Yet over time, a form of resolution emerged, not in answers, but in acceptance. They learned to live with the unanswered questions, to carry the weight of the unknown with a quiet dignity. The enduring mystery of Dennis Martin's disappearance remains one of the most baffling and heartbreaking cases in the history of national parks. While the truth about Dennis Martin's fate remains hidden within the vast silent wilderness of the Great Smoky Mountains, his story serves as a powerful testament to a family's unbreakable love, a community's determination, and the enduring, often terrifying power of the unknown.